Some of the most successful people in life just plain fail more than anyone else. They make more mistakes. However, what they do with those mistakes and how they respond to them is what makes all the difference. In this video, we're going to learn something critically important. That's how to get the gold out of every failure, look for that silver lining, or ultimately how to learn the lesson from the good and bad in life. It will make all the difference. So the very first thing I want to start with is don't blame God. A lot of people go, well, you know, it's almost like God is in charge of everything, and they say, it must be God's will if something bad happens. You know what? That's not true all the time. We have free will. We have choice. And I hear this misquoted all the time, and I'll share a scripture in a minute, but they'll say like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Like, you know, it just is happening. Yeah, it happens for a reason because we were lazy, or we didn't learn, or we didn't know what we needed to do. And you know what? If that's what you're saying, everything happens for a reason, I agree. But if you think that, you know, like, well, God just caused everything to happen for a reason, that's really not what it says. So to pull the silver lining out of it, I'm going to share something with you. It's Romans 8:28. And it says, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purposes for them. Now, it doesn't say God causes everything. It says he will turn it to good. So even the bad stuff, if we go to God, he will help us turn it to good. So to look for that silver lining, to look for the nuggets, to really turn it around, I would suggest you do what I do. And I didn't used to do this, but now I do it all the time. I ask God, God, will you help me with this? And one of them is I say, what can I learn from this? It's a simple question. If you ask God and you know that he's going to help you with the intent of, yeah, I'm going to learn something, you can learn from anything. He'll show you things. How can I get better at this? So with everything I do, I try to include God because, you know, hey, he's God. He knows everything. I'm not God. He is God. So why not? It's just so much smarter to ask him to help us with things. Another way to get the gold is practice gratitude. You know, have that attitude of gratitude. And so if you're really thankful, that you got to try it. You got to learn the lessons. It's like, if something doesn't work out, at least you know what didn't work out. You say, I know that doesn't work. I can try again. I can readjust. Be grateful that you had a failure. You know, it sounds very silly sometimes, but I know back when I was selling for a living, and if I got rejected massively, I would basically tell my wife about it. Oh, that person just really, you know, cut me to shreds or whatever. And it helped. But you know what? I was grateful because I knew if I kept doing that, I would get to the yes. So every no led to the yes. So I was grateful for getting a lot of no's. I just wanted to get them out of the way so I could get to the people that I could help, that my product or service could help. So you know what? You know how you find the silver lining? Change your attitude. Have an attitude of gratitude. Another way to get a great nugget from everything is focus on what you can control and not what you cannot control. It's limitless of the things you can't control. It's unlimited. You and I cannot do a lot of things. There's so many things we don't know and things we can't do by ourselves. Focus on what you can do. How can I change it? What can I do? And again, ask God, God, how can we do this? How can I change? But focus on what you can control. It makes all the difference. Again, look for hidden opportunities. Not just asking the question, like, what can I learn from this? But do you know there's a lot of things that have come about by mistakes in products or services that didn't really work the way that people thought they would work? Like sticky notes. And you probably all have heard that, but the glue on the sticky notes that are so popular, you know, that was a mistake. They really wanted a glue that would last forever and ever and ever and ever, but it was a mistake. And they said, how can we use this? And it turned into the back of sticky notes. And you know what? There's a lot of products and services and opportunities that come out of mistakes and problems and things that did not go right. Now again, what's the difference? How you process it. Instead of focusing on the bad, what can I gain from this? Are there any opportunities? Can I learn? Again, another thing you can do to really get that gold out of everything, to get that nugget, surround yourself with the right people. And if you surround yourself with people that are always looking at how can we get better, what can we learn, how can we grow, then you're going to be growing. If you're surrounded with people that are always negative, always fearful, they're doubtful, I don't know how this is going to work, I knew it wouldn't work out, you know what, you're probably not going to move forward. So be very, very aware of the people that are very close to you. So surround yourself with positive, optimistic people that are looking for answers. Another thing you can do is you can use humor to lighten the mood. After a massive failure or mistake, it doesn't feel too good. It's like, man, I just worked on that for 2 years. I've had things I've worked on for more than 2 years, and then they didn't work out. And you know what? You usually don't do cartwheels. You don't get all excited. But you know what? Look at it, laugh, use humor, and then you can find the gold. You can find that nugget. But if you're in a terrible state of mind, you don't even look for it. So use humor for your benefit. Acknowledge and accept your feelings, even though I want you to use humor. If you feel bad, don't act like you don't feel bad. Don't try to bury it and say, I'm pretending I don't feel bad. If you feel bad, admit it. And say, I feel bad right now. That wasn't too good. Get it out of you. But you know that 80-20 rule? I'm going to say use it as 95-5. Like 5% feel bad. But 95% of the time, look for the nuggets. Look for the lesson. What can I learn? But if you bury that and don't act, or you act like you don't feel bad when you do, it still has life. It goes in you. It grows. Not a good thing. So acknowledge it. Just don't stop there. Don't stay there. You want to find the gold in everything? Well, when it doesn't work out the right way, if it's one of those really hard lessons, give yourself a minute to grieve. Give yourself a day if you have to, but then get back basically as quickly as you can. I want you to focus on your past. I have them in mind, and I could tell you all my stories, but I've had a lot of things that did not work out the way that I wanted them to. And you know what? You have them too. Things where you failed, but you learned lessons. You learned how you could grow. When you do that, you're focusing now on, you know, this has been something I've been doing. So you start looking for more lessons. You start looking, I guess it all does work out in the end. I guess there are nuggets I wasn't even paying attention to. If you start paying attention to the nuggets of your past or what could be nuggets, then you're going to be feeding that. It's going to grow. You're going to learn more from that. And I can tell you, we with our company, we've done a lot of things. And my son's a partner at our company, a partner with me. We're partners together. I love working with him. And sometimes we've looked back, that didn't work out, that didn't work out, that didn't work out. Years of things that didn't work out exactly the way we wanted. But you know what? We don't quit. We learn from it. And you know what happens? It's so funny that sooner or later, that stuff that we thought was a failure, now we're repurposing it, or we're changing or tweaking it. And many times we found, wow, that worked out really, really great. Something we worked so hard on, maybe at the time, maybe it wasn't the right timing for it. But look at your own past. And when you start doing that, you go, yeah, I have been learning. And then you'll be learning more. So as I wrap this up, I ultimately want you to think about that scripture. Let God help you in this. Ask Him, how can I find the good in this? What wasn't I noticing before that I could notice? Ask better questions and look for the gold. If you look for the gold, you will find the gold. If you look for the silver lining, you will find the silver lining. And that's what the most successful people in life do. They fail a lot, but it doesn't mean failure. It doesn't mean I made a lot of mistakes and so I'm going to be a lifelong failure. No, they find the gold, they look for it, and then they learn, and then they change their approach. Find the nuggets, readjust what you're doing, and keep moving forward. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and as always, remember to expect success. Thanks, everyone.